Mario Party is a series of games that proves there's no hope for humanity. The pure random nature of the game board, mixed with the skill-intensive minigames, gives Mario Party this false sense of fairness that with enough strategy, anyone can consistently win against their group of friends. And it's through this complete fabrication that Mario Party remains a household favorite party game. Much like Mario Kart and Super Smash Bros., Mario Party is only enjoyable if someone else is having a terrible time, and the game excels at creating many opportunities for being a petty asshole. Whether it's stealing stars from opponents who are in 4th place, or going out of your way to sabotage your teammates in minigames, or colluding with other players to deliberately fuck over the person who won the last game, Mario Party will create a scenario where your friends will inevitably become assholes and tarnish your friendship forever. The first Mario Party game came out in 1999 on the Nintendo 64. The whole game is essentially like a traditional board game, where each player takes turns moving around the board in order to collect coins and purchase stars from Toad. Each game starts with players rolling the dice to determine the turn order and is then given 10 coins. After each player moves across the board, a random minigame is selected for each player to participate in, and players are divided up into teams depending on the color of the space they landed on. Once the minigame ends, players will either win or lose a certain amount of coins depending on their performance, and then each player gets the opportunity to, once again, move across the board. This process repeats itself for a certain amount of turns, and then the player with the most stars by the end of the game is declared the winner. It's a very simple game that involves a lot of luck and a little bit of strategy in order to win. Some might argue that Mario Party is complete bullshit, but I think that most skilled players can win consistently enough. Of course, if we're talking about basic Mario Party strats, we have to assume that cruel and unusual punishment is not being taken into consideration. In this hypothetical scenario where we're playing Gentleman's Mario Party, where every player's actions against each other are all considered to be fair and logical, then there is a consistent path to victory, assuming the random nature of the game board doesn't fuck you over. Now, much like the fucked up world we live in, money controls everything, and that also applies in Mario Party. Earning coins by winning minigames can easily allow players to gain a lead on everyone else by providing the most opportunities to collect stars, and since minigames are the most skill-intensive aspect of Mario Party, winning as many minigames as possible is the key to consistent victory. By having a lot of coins, you'll be able to purchase stars from Toad whenever you come across him, and if you're rich enough, you can also end up stealing stars from other players by traveling towards Boo on the game board. There's also 3 stars at the end of the game that players can get depending on how well they played. You can get the coin star for collecting the most coins, you can get the minigame star for collecting the most coins off of minigames, and you can get a star for landing on the most happening spaces. Although landing on happening spaces mostly revolves around luck, the minigame star and the coin star are almost the exact same thing. The player who ends up winning the most minigames will usually have gotten the most coins, and they're 2 of the most consistent bonus stars that a skilled player can get every time they play a game of Mario Party. Now, obviously, when you're actually playing the game, skill can only get you so far. Even in this hypothetical scenario where your friends aren't a bunch of assholes, it's still a very luck-based game that's infamous for screwing over players at the last second. Each player's dice rolls are entirely based on luck, and the spaces players land on can drastically change the entire outcome of the game. Landing on a blue space will give players 3 coins, landing on a red space will take away 3 coins, players can land on a minigame space to play a 1-player minigame to win or lose some extra coins, landing on a Bowser space can result in players losing a massive amount of coins, and Bowser himself is also present on the board, who will force players to spend money on useless shit to prevent them from buying stars from Toad. Players can also land on a mushroom space, which will either give them another dice roll by getting a mushroom, or cause them to lose their next turn by getting a poison mushroom. Landing on a happening space can also help or hinder multiple players in completely random ways depending on the game board, and the worst offender in Mario Party history is the chance space. Now, Bowser spaces can ruin your game in the long run, but chance time is where dreams go to die. When a player lands on this space, everyone's stars and coins are up for grabs, where one random player is forced to give up their stars or coins to another random player for absolutely no reason, causing players to instantly win or lose through sheer luck. Honestly, there's so much luck involved in Mario Party that it can be extremely aggravating at times, but it's also one of the best things about it. People get pissed off in the moment, but everyone laughs it off at the end of the game because it's fucking Mario Party. It's a game where terrible things happen to everyone and the person who gets beaten down the least ends up winning. Now, with all of that said, the first Mario Party isn't very good. The mushroom spaces are fucking bullshit, losing coins during minigames beats you down too hard, and Bowser appearing on the board and wasting your money on nothing is incredibly frustrating. That's not even mentioning the fact that the original Mario Party had minigames where you'd have to spin the control stick as fast as possible, causing all of your dipshit friends to mash the analog sticks with their palms and breaking all of your Nintendo 64 controllers. So once you lost all your friends after beating their asses at Mario Party, you couldn't even enjoy playing your Nintendo 64 by yourself because now you can't play Ocarina of Time because Link can only walk around at like 2 miles an hour because all your worthless friends broke all the analog sticks. So honestly, the original Mario Party can suck my dick. Fuck this game and fuck having friends. A year later, Nintendo released Mario Party 2, which is basically an updated version of Mario Party 1. Mario Party 2 is the hypest shit, it's the best one. You could take that first game and throw it in the fucking garbage, you don't need it, this one's better. With this game being a brand new sequel, they created 6 new game boards as well as a bunch of new mini games to keep things interesting. The biggest change to Mario Party 2 was the addition of items that players could use on the game board, which added a little bit more strategy. Players can purchase items with coins during the game by traveling towards an item shop located somewhere on the game board, which will have a random selection of items depending on how many coins the player has. Mushrooms will allow you to roll 2 item blocks, golden mushrooms will allow you to roll 3 item blocks, skeleton keys can open a gate to a locked off route on the game board, plunder chests can steal an item from a randomly chosen opponent, a dueling glove will allow you to challenge another player to a duel minigame, warp blocks will cause you to swap places with a randomly chosen opponent, and the magic lamp can summon a genie and teleport you directly towards the star space. Because of this change, the mushroom spaces and minigame spaces were removed from Mario Party 2 and replaced with the item space, which allows players to play a board-specific minigame to get an item. In these item mini-games, you can also obtain exclusive items like the Boo Bell, which will summon Boo and allow you to immediately steal coins or stars from other players. You can also obtain a Bowser suit and steal 20 coins from passing players, and you can get a Bowser Bomb, which will cause Bowser to move around on the game board and cause passing players to lose all their coins. Overall, these items are all great additions, because by tricking players into thinking Mario Party requires actual strategy, it only crushes them down further once their plan revolving around an item inevitably fails due to Mario Party being absolute horseshit. Battle minigames were also added into the game as well. When someone lands on a battle space, a specific amount of coins are collected from every player, and everyone has to play a battle minigame in order to win all the coins in the pot. Another major addition to Mario Party 2 is that each board also has a bank space. Every time a player passes the bank space, they have to deposit 5 coins into the bank, but if a player somehow manages to land on the bank space, they'll receive all the coins deposited throughout the game. One minor detail about Mario Party 2 that I absolutely love was that the characters would dress up depending on the theme of the board, and for whatever reason, it's something that never returned to any other game in the series. Like, you'd go to the pirate level and everyone would be dressed up like pirates. Like, it's fucking cool! Why'd they stop doing it? Also, this game was much better than the original because they removed all those stupid minigames where you mash on the analog stick, because I guess a bunch of kids got lacerations in their palms and Nintendo got sued in court. I mean, I appreciate that they addressed this issue, but it's a little too late. All my controllers are still broken, even to this day. Like, maybe you should actually fix everyone's analog sticks instead of handing out gloves. Fucking assholes. Overall, Mario Party 2 is the classic Mario Party experience that I enjoy the most. You don't lose coins from the regular minigames anymore, the addition of items adds a little bit of strategy to traversing the board, and it's a perfect balance between chaos and strategy. It still has all the hallmarks of Mario Party bullshit, but you can still sort of steer course and make things happen with a little bit of luck and ingenuity. Mario Party 3 was released a year later, once again adding small additions to the series. They made 6 new boards with a bunch of new minigames because of course they did. The biggest change to Mario Party 3 was that they improved on the item system. In Mario Party 2, players were allowed to hold onto one item until they used it, while Mario Party 3 allows players to hold 3 items at once and discard any items they don't want to use. Overall, it was a really good change for the series, but one of the problems with Mario Party 3 is that they also expanded on the item list and went a little bit nuts. In Mario Party 3, you have all the items from Mario Party 2 except the Bowser Bomb, and 11 new items with varying levels of utility. They added the cellular shopper so you can call Toad or Baby Bowser to shop for items. You can get a boo repellent that stops other players from stealing your coins and stars. You can get a reverse mushroom and force players to move backwards depending on their next dice roll. You can get a poison mushroom which causes a player's next dice roll to only be from 1 to 3. There's a Bowser phone players can use that can force other players to participate in a Bowser event. There's a lucky lamp that summons a mushroom genie that just moves the star location to somewhere else. And there's an item bag that gives an assortment of random items, including rare items you can only get from item spaces. These items include the Wacky Watch, which can force the game to end in 5 turns, a barter box that swaps all the items of whatever player is chosen, a Koopa card that allows the player to just take all the money in the Koopa bank by just passing by it, and the Lucky Charm, which can summon Game Guy and force players to participate in a Game Guy minigame. Who the fuck is Game Guy? Well, in Mario Party 3, they added a new space called the Game Guy space, and when a player lands on it, they're essentially forced to gamble all of their coins away on a luck-based minigame. If you lose the minigame, you'll lose all your coins from pure chance, and if you somehow manage to win, you'll gain a shit ton of coins from pure chance and steamroll the entire competition. It was a space on the board that was so controversial that its existence is exclusive to Mario Party 3. They somehow managed to make a space that was worse than chance time. Like, how the fuck is that possible? Now, like I said before, Mario Party 3 went fucking nuts with all this shit, and honestly, I can see why people might enjoy it more than 2. After all, the expanded item list does present more opportunities for your friends to be malicious assholes, and if you're a person seeking out that toxic experience, then Mario Party 3 nails it to perfection. Now, for me personally, I'll always prefer the simplicity of Mario Party 2 over this one, but it's still a pretty good Mario Party game because it's just fucking Mario Party again. And it's fucking Mario Party again. Mario Party 4 is once again a Mario Party game, but unlike the previous 3 Mario Party games, this one's on the GameCube. Once again, there's 6 brand new game boards with its own new batch of minigames. Again, we're just doing this shit again. There's a new warp space that launches you to another random player on the map, as well as a brand new mushroom space, which shares no similarities to the space from Mario Party 1. This time around, the mushroom space acts as an item space that gives the player a mega mushroom or a mini mushroom, 2 brand new items that Mario Party 4 fucking jerks off to. Mega mushrooms act as regular mushrooms from the previous games. The only difference this time around is that you turn big and can steal 10 coins from passing players while also skipping major events on the game board like the star space. The mini mushroom turns players tiny and causes them to only roll a 1 through 6, but it also allows players to navigate certain areas blocked by pipes, which seems to have replaced the use of gates and skeleton keys. In fact, the item use from Mario Party 3 has been drastically reduced, mainly due to the fact that you can only obtain most items through the item shop. A lot of the items from Mario Party 3 have also been outright removed, while others were rebranded into other things or were simply taken out due to redundancy. Since the new mushroom space has essentially replaced the item space from Mario Party 3, the new mini and mega mushrooms end up being the most used items for the majority of the game, which did make it a bit more boring. Anyways, Mario Party 4 is okay. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's still fun to play cause it's just fucking Mario Party again. It's just another Mario Party game. Surprise, surprise, they released Mario Party 5. It's the 5th Mario Party game in the Mario Party series. No one saw that shit coming. You got some brand new game boards with some brand new mini games like no shit, no fucking shit. Mario Party 5, once again, decided to rework the item system, but this time, they decided to implement an entirely new item system that drastically changed the way the game works. The item shops on the game board have essentially been replaced with capsule machines, and when a player travels to the machine, they can receive a random capsule for free. Now the player has a choice. They can either open the capsule by spending some money to use the item on themselves, or they can throw the capsule onto one of the 10 spaces ahead of them and place the item effect onto the space. When a player decides to spend coins to open the capsule, they will use the item inside and the capsule will be consumed. On the other hand, if someone lands on a space that had a capsule thrown on it, it will activate the effect of the capsule, and the same effect will remain on that space for the rest of the game unless someone else throws another capsule on the same space and changes the effect. Overall, it was a really interesting gameplay mechanic that resulted in Mario Party 5 becoming an absolute clusterfuck. To put it simply, there's 28 different capsules in Mario Party 5, and most of them cause outright negative effects or are seemingly random in nature. And since the game hands out all of these capsules for free, players will carelessly throw them all over the game board and will immediately turn every space into some pseudo-happening space that will either help you out or fuck you over. Now, to get an idea of how random these effects can seem at times, look no further than the coin events. If you land on a coin event capsule space, one of these many effects can happen to you. You can activate a bullet bill capsule and ride a bullet bill that steals 30 coins from passing players on your next dice roll and lose the ability to choose where to turn at junctions. You can find a coin block and gain 10 coins. You can activate a Goomba capsule that will swap coins with another player chosen by roulette. You can activate a Hammer Bro capsule that causes you to lose 10 coins. You can activate a Paratroopa capsule that allows you to roll a dice block to determine how many coins your opponents lose. You can activate a Piranha Plant capsule and lose half of your coins, or you can activate a Spiny capsule and steal 10 coins from another player chosen at random, and all of these effects are denoted with the same icon. Meanwhile, there's also a Koopa Bank capsule that activates the Koopa Bank effect from Mario Party 2 and 3. You can activate a Bomb-Omb capsule by being the third player to pass the space and cause you to lose 20 coins. There's a Bubble capsule that causes the player to move 10 spaces ahead and lose all their capsules and they can't choose where to turn at junctions. There's a Cursed Mushroom capsule that forces a 1 to 5 dice roll for your next turn. There's a Klepto capsule that takes players to another player's space chosen by roulette. There's a Wiggler capsule that takes you directly to the star space. There's a Kamek capsule that shuffles around all the capsules in every player's inventory. There's a Lakitu capsule that steals a capsule from another player they're choosing. There's a Magikoopa capsule that swaps their capsules with another player's capsules chosen at random. There's a Mr. Blizzard capsule that causes the player to lose all of their capsules. There's an Ukiki capsule that allows players to choose an opponent to lose all of their capsules by having Ukiki throw them all over the game board at random. There's a Chain Chomp capsule that allows you to steal coins and stars from other players. There's a Dual Space capsule. There's a fucking Chance Time capsule. There's a Twister capsule that causes the star space to move to another location. There's a Bowser capsule that causes Bowser to spawn another Bowser space randomly on the board. And then there's a Miracle capsule that does absolutely nothing unless you're able to collect 3 Miracle capsules into your inventory, in which case you automatically activate Exodia, which forces the player in first place to give all their stars to the person in fourth place. Now, I don't know about you, but to call Mario Party 5 a complete clusterfuck would be an understatement. Like, Mario Party 5 is fucking nonsense. Another major addition to Mario Party 5 is the new DK space, which is treated as a good version of the Bowser space. It's kind of a weird decision since Donkey Kong used to be a playable character, but I guess it's fine because Donkey Kong is basically shit anyways, which is why it's so fucking weird. I mean, Bowser is the most evil Mario character in existence, but to contrast him is fucking Donkey Kong, who's apparently the most Christ-like character? Like, what the fuck has Donkey Kong done to deserve to be the fucking Jesus Christ of Mario Party? Like, all he does is fucking sit around and eat bananas and fucking do nothing. Like, what the hell has he ever done? Anyways, Mario Party 5 is really fun if you want to play through some clusterfuck bullshit. At the end of the day, it's Mario Party fucking again. It seems different, but it's really the same shit again. You roll the dice, you collect the stars, you get fucked over. It's Mario Party. It's Mario Party 6. It's the 6th game in the Mario Party franchise, but it's actually a much different game compared to Mario Party 5, even though it's basically the same shit again, but sort of not really. We got 6 new game boards, we got new mini games. It's fucking Mario Party 6. One of the new additions to the game is that they added a day and night cycle, which would affect certain parts of the game board, usually involving Donkey Kong and Bowser in some way. Another huge change to Mario Party 6 was that they actually started changing the objectives of the game board, which I personally thought was kind of interesting, but some people didn't like it. You have two game boards that are pretty much the same thing as the previous games, where you have to run around the board and buy a star for 20 coins, but every other game board has slightly different objectives to obtaining stars. There is one game board where the star location never changes and you can buy as many stars as you want. There's a game board where everyone starts out with 5 stars, but the only way to get stars is to steal them from other players using chain chomps. There's a linear game board similar to one of the levels from the original Mario Party where Bowser and DK swap places after someone buys a star from them. And there's an unlockable game board where you have to chase down Donkey Kong to buy a star during the day and run away from Bowser during the night. The only issue with this change is that if you just want to play standard Mario Party, you're basically stuck with only 2 maps. Like, clearly, there should have been an option to change the rules for each map and allow standard play for everything, but for whatever reason, they just didn't do that. Another great change to Mario Party 6 is that they also changed the capsule system and fixed some of the issues that came with Mario Party 5, but for whatever reason, they decided to call them orbs now, even though they're still capsules. First of all, they brought back the item shop where you can buy a random selection of orbs, and because of this, the capsules no longer cost money to use. More importantly, the way capsule spaces work has also changed as well. Now, a major problem with Mario Party 5 was that when you created a capsule space, that space would become an obstacle for everyone. And because you could only toss capsules 10 spaces ahead of you, you would inevitably fuck yourself over with the same capsule you threw during the same turn, which was kinda fucking stupid. Mario Party 6 addressed this issue by changing it so that capsule spaces you create no longer harm you, and many of the capsules have been properly balanced to not cause a complete shit show. For example, red orbs will cause players who pass it to lose coins or cause some other negative effect, but those orbs will disappear from the game board once they've been activated, thus acting more as single-use traps to use against your opponents. Yellow orbs will once again cause random effects and stay on the board, but the effects are much tamer than Mario Party 5 and will only involve the player who created the space to take coins from you or steal an orb or something. More importantly, randomness has been entirely removed from the equation, and a majority of the spaces will only negatively affect the player who landed on the space. There's still the warp pipe orb that causes a player to shift places with another player, but overall, Mario Party 6 is about as fair as you can get. Overall, it's a pretty fun game because it's fucking Mario Party. You're rolling the dice, playing mini games, and collecting stars. It's slightly different, but it's the same shit again. Then a year later, Nintendo released Mario Party, and you won't believe this, guys, okay? Nintendo released Mario Party Advance! Oh, shit! You thought I was gonna say Mario Party 7, you fucking idiot. Go into the corner and put on your dunce cap, you dummy. Alright, the reading assignments are supplemental to the lecture. Jesus fucking Christ! Okay, but for real though, no one remembers this game cause it sucks ass. Apparently the game is mostly single player and doesn't even resemble Mario Party in the slightest. All you do is travel through Shroom City in a fucking car and collect minigames and gadgets by helping the citizens of Shroom City by stopping Bowser by doing something. Also, there's like this multiplayer mode that uses a physical board that you literally cut out from the game manual, and you use the Game Boy Advance to roll the dice and play minigames while you move little paper cutouts on the physical board. It's like the most pathetic shit I've ever seen. Mario Party 7 is the 7th Mario Party game in the Mario Party timeline, and it's the last game on the GameCube with barely any new additions. We got 6 new game boards, we got some new minigames, we got 6 new game boards, we got some new minigames, we got 6 new game boards, we got some new minigames. Fuck! Fuck! Overall, I guess Mario Party 7 was still technically good, but they basically added nothing and it wasn't worth buying at all. They added an 8-player mode if you want to lose 7 friends as soon as possible. They added Bowser time, which was basically a countdown to whenever Bowser would appear on the board and fuck hella shit up. They added some new bonus stars to mix things up near the end of the game, and then they added in solo, DK, and Bowser minigames to add to the glacial speed of the game, as well as mic minigames. Now, Mario Party 6 also came packaged with a microphone that was used for minigames, but those were all essentially a bunch of side content that didn't impact the main game. On the other hand, Mario Party 7 comes with the same microphone and the addition of the mic space, where you can play single-player mic minigames and waste everyone's time, which luckily you can disable if you disconnect the microphone. To put it simply, the microphone just doesn't work. I remember playing the microphone minigames back when Mario Party 6 came out, and the game told me I said twomp when I said Daisy. Alright, it's just a piece of fucking shit and it doesn't work. It's a stupid gimmick, and it fucking sucks! Anyways, Mario Party 7 doesn't really bring much to the table. It's basically just Mario Party 6 with little to no changes, which is basically a less shitty version of Mario Party 5, so whatever. Mario Party 8! It's the 8th Mario Party game in the Mario Party lineage, but don't worry guys, it's on the Wii this time, so I guess it's completely different apparently. 6 new game boards! Some brand new minigames! 6 new game boards! Some brand new minigames! Just take a gun and fucking kill me! Mario Party 8 once again has game boards that follow different objectives, which is similar to Mario Party 7, which is similar to Mario Party 6. But now the orb system from the 2 previous games has been changed into candy. What the fuck is candy? Well, candy just works like normal fucking items. You can find candy on the board as well as buy it in shops, and they're basically normal consumable items. Apparently Mario Party went so fucking crazy with all this stupid item shit that they've somehow went all the way around the fucking world and accidentally remade it back to where they started right at the beginning. Like, is this shit for fucking real? Anyways, besides that, they also added a lucky space which sends you over to a hidden area where you can get a free star. Besides most of those minor changes, it's the same shit again, but now it's on the Wii, and at least with the new candy system in the motion control mini games, Mario Party 8 has a reason to exist. Okay, but seriously though, this one's pretty good. Meanwhile, a couple of months later, Nintendo released Mario Party DS, which is actually a proper Mario Party game on a handheld. A lot of the minigames use the DS stylus, and you can actually do wireless 4-player multiplayer by using only one cartridge, which was pretty cool. Besides that, it's fucking Mario Party on the DS, and that's about it. They probably changed some minor things about it or added in a new item or something, but I didn't play this shit because it's on a handheld, so I don't care. Now, at this point in time, Nintendo has been shitting out Mario Party games at an alarming rate. Ever since 1999, they've just been updating and releasing the same fucking game over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they finally stopped. 5 years of silence. Then in 2012, Mario Party 9 came out, which took drastic measures to fixing some of Mario Party's most glaring problems. Now, the biggest problem with Mario Party in general is that games last way too long, and they addressed this issue by restructuring the entire game. In Mario Party 9, every game board features linear paths, and players all ride together in a cart. The objective of the game is to collect the most mini-stars, which you can get while moving along the game board or by winning mini-games. This time around, the mini-games don't happen at the end of each round and are simply activated by landing on certain spaces, and while it was disappointing to a lot of people, it did speed up the game dramatically. Since the player rolling the dice is the only person who picks up mini-stars, the main strategy of Mario Party 9 is to manipulate the group's movement in order to pick up the most mini-stars on the game board. To put it simply, Mario Party 9 was such a major departure from the series that a lot of players weren't interested at all. For the most part, it seemed like Nintendo was really trying to give fans a reason to actually pick up Mario Party 9 by actually making it different. But at this point in time, it's pretty much a lose-lose situation. I mean, they could have either made something new to reinvigorate the series and get criticized because it doesn't feel like Mario Party, or they could keep the game relatively the same and get criticized for being the same shit again. Anyone who's still buying Mario Party at this point in time clearly wanted to have something similar to the previous entries in the series, whereas the majority of people who wanted something different have already moved on or are simply playing one of the 8 Mario Party games that already exists. Honestly, after 5 years, it's not like anyone really wanted a new Mario Party either. I mean, even to this day, all the previous games are completely fine and they're still fun to play with friends. You can have just as much fun with Mario Party 2 as you can with Mario Party 6, and the changes between all the games doesn't make a huge difference. In the grand scheme of things, if Mario Party 9 was just another standard game and ended up being the worst piece of shit game in existence, no one would give a fuck, because everyone's still playing Mario Party 2, or 3, or 6, or 8. Overall, Mario Party 9 was an attempt to bring new life into the series, and it didn't really pay off. A year later, Nintendo released Mario Party Island Tour on the 3DS and once again attempted to bring new life into the series by changing things dramatically. This time around, you still have the linear game boards from Mario Party 9, but now each player moves individually, and the entire goal of the game is to be the first person who reaches the end. There's a wide variety of spaces which affect the player's movement on the game board, and winning minigames gives players powerful dice blocks that will grant higher dice rolls. Certain boards will also have specific objectives with their own little twist on the formula to keep things interesting, like requiring the player to collect the most mini-stars or some other gimmick revolving around the board. Now, to be perfectly honest, I have never played this game and I have no intentions of doing so. Once again, Nintendo is trying to change things up so much that it doesn't even resemble Mario Party at all. In the grand scheme of things, Mario Party Island Tour is essentially like some glorified Candyland bullshit where all you do is roll the dice and hope for the best. The removal of coins and the over-reliance on good dice rolls and item spaces also makes the entire experience seem like it's entirely based on luck, which is still faithful to the Mario Party series, but now there's almost no illusion of skill being involved. After all, the whole appeal of Mario Party is that despite the complete randomness of the game board, you could still wrestle control over the game by winning minigames and buying items, which is why the coin system is so integral to the experience. Of course, you could always lose all your coins in a battle minigame and chance time can instantly screw you over at the last second, but at least the illusion was there. At least when you were winning, you thought you were playing good. I mean, obviously it was all bullshit, but like you thought it. You thought you were good. Meanwhile, winning minigames in Mario Party Island Tour can still result in a shitty dice roll, and all the distance you gain over your opponents can be instantly undone the millisecond someone gets an item and switches places with your character. In which case, your entire lead has been blown and it was all a waste of time. Anyways, Mario Party Island Tour looks like shit, and I'm fully confident when I say that despite never playing it. I'm fully aware that this makes me a giant hypocrite piece of shit, but I don't really give a fuck because it's not fucking Mario Party. 2 years later, Nintendo released Mario Party 10 for the Wii U, which once again forces players to ride together in a cart. You got some brand new game boards and some new minigames, and it's basically the same shit as Mario Party 9. A year later, Nintendo released Mario Party Star Rush for the 3DS, which also attempted to bring new life in the series by not being a Mario Party game. Now, if you don't remember this game at all, it's because Nintendo stealth announced it at E3 2016 right after showing off Breath of the Wild, where they quickly showed off the box art for the game, which was just copy and pasted from a can of SpaghettiOs. This is a real thing that happened. Believe it or not, the main mode for this game is actually called Toad Scramble, in which 4 players all play as Toads and roll their dices and move simultaneously on like a grid. And the goal is to collect coins and stars, and I guess the game board aspect of the game is just gone now, so spaces are non-existent besides some question mark spaces that give you items, and there's like boss fights and minigames that reward you with stars and coins or something. Also, since the main mode of the game doesn't allow you to play as the main cast, you can pick them up as allies throughout the game and they'll increase your dice roll and give you certain abilities on the field. There's a bunch of other game modes as well, but it's kind of all over the place. Like, there's a rhythm game, there's a 2-player puzzle, there's a tower climbing mini game, there's a 4-player puzzle, there's an alternate balloon bash mode where you collect balloons or something. Like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I mean, maybe this game is fun and I'm just being an asshole, but it doesn't really seem like a Mario Party game, so whatever. I don't really care. So now it's a year later, and Nintendo's like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want Mario Party? You're getting fucking Mario Party. We're releasing Mario Party Top 100. It's gonna be a compilation game with some of the best mini games in the history of the franchise. It's like, holy shit. That's a fucking genius idea. You could add in a bunch of old game boards, maybe bring back some of the old rule sets or capsule systems from the previous games, and you could make like some fucking crazy ultimate Mario Party experience in one package. Oh man, I can't wait to play this game on the Switch. And then Nintendo's like, oh, by the way, it's on 3DS. And also, we're not bringing back the old game boards. Oh my god, what the fuck are you fucking... But don't worry, because you can play all these mini games you've already played before on only one game board, okay? You get one game board, and then... Super Mario Party is the 11th game in the Mario Party series of games that actually fucking matter. This time around, Nintendo was so embarrassed at how many Mario Party games exist that they decided to completely relaunch the series with a clean slate by releasing the same shit. Again, for the 11th time. Surprisingly enough, Super Mario Party has taken a lot of inspiration from that SpaghettiOs game. Much like Toad Scramble, character abilities have also been brought into the main mode of Super Mario Party by giving each character a unique dice block with different numbers. Some dice blocks are riskier to use but yield higher numbers, while others are much more consistent but involve lower numbers or the possibility to win or lose coins. Each dice block also gives each character a sort of unique playstyle, where characters can switch between the normal and character-specific dice blocks depending on the situation, which creates a sort of risk and reward that I can't say has been present in any of the previous Mario Party games. Another major change with Super Mario Party is that the standard game has been scaled down. The game boards are much smaller than the previous games, the regular dice blocks can only roll a 1 through 6, and stars now cost 10 coins instead of 20. While it might sound like a bad change, it keeps players more involved within the game by increasing the likelihood of stars spawning closer to multiple players, thus creating a more frantic rush to travel to the star space. Gameplay-wise, Super Mario Party is probably the most inspired game in the series in a very long time. However, there are some issues with the overall package that are a bit disappointing. First of all, the main game only has 4 game boards, which is the lowest amount for any home console entry. At first, I thought Nintendo was simply rushing the game out, but then I realized the Partner Party mode also uses the same maps, but recreates them using the grid-based system from Toad Scramble for a brand new 2 vs 2 mode. There's also a river rafting survival game mode where you cooperate with everyone as a team, as well as another rhythm mini-game to spice up the variety. Overall, it seems like Nintendo has lowered its priorities on the traditional Mario Party mode to create some sort of all-encompassing experience that invites players to explore everything Mario Party has to offer, which I can't say I'm a huge fan of. I mean, if I ever revisit this game with friends, I'm only going to play the main mode, so spending all this effort on one-off experiences that will be swiftly forgotten about in a couple of years seems like a wasted effort. Honestly, if Nintendo outright removed all the other game modes in favor of getting 2 or 3 extra game boards, I wouldn't even give a shit. After all, the reason I haven't been talking about the story modes or all the other extra content from all the previous games is because anyone revisiting these games at this point in time aren't going to play them. And as time moves on, this will be equally true for Super Mario Party. Overall, Super Mario Party is a refreshing experience for the series, but I feel like it'll be swiftly forgotten about once an inevitable sequel has more game boards. Still, despite its flaws, it's still a fun game to play because it's just Mario Party again! For like the 11th fucking time! Man, Mario Party fucking sucks! Honestly, all this video's done for me is proven how uninvested I am in the entire series. I mean, whenever I make these retrospective videos, there's usually something I can at least elaborate my thoughts on or tackle from a unique angle, but with Mario Party, there's just nothing to fucking talk about! It's so fucking boring! Like, all Nintendo did was release the same game every year for like 8 years straight, they stopped for 5 years, they made 2 bad ones, they released a bunch of handheld games I don't give a fuck about, and then they rebooted the series cause they ruined it. At the end of the day, I can still say I had fun with some of these games, and I can objectively pick out which ones are the best, but overall, Mario Party has to be the most stagnant series Nintendo has ever put out, which is why I don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, I suppose I could pretend to be mad about Mario Party 9 and 10 and rage about how the kart system sucked, but honestly, I couldn't care less. Like, I got an entire lifetime supply of Mario Party games already at my disposal, and even then, I still only play like 2 of them. I mean, I could throw half of these things in the garbage and it wouldn't even matter. Meanwhile, that's not even acknowledging the fact that when I actually have friends over, I'd rather play other games instead. I mean, if we're only talking about the Nintendo trifecta of party games, Mario Party is easily the worst one, and you can still get the same chaotic experience from the other 2. In the grand scheme of things, Mario Kart is the most fun game to play with people and is incredibly accessible, and even Super Smash Bros. Can be a giant clusterfuck when you have 4 players and max items on. On the other hand, Mario Party is just kind of a drag. To be fair, with the right friend group, you can have a great time playing Mario Party, but you really have to sit down and dedicate such a large chunk of time to getting through it. Meanwhile, once you get deep into the game and players start gaining massive leads over each other, people just stop being invested because the matches last way too long and there's almost no hope of recovering. Anyways, with all of that said, I guess that sums up my thoughts on Mario Party. The games are technically fun, but the series fucking bores me to tears, and if we're hanging out playing Nintendo games, I'd rather play literally anything else. Goodbye.